The hot-button issue of race has now been injected into the administration's inept response to the border crisis. This week, as thousands of Haitian immigrants joined the migration of hundreds of thousands more from around the world crossing the Rio Grande, Border Patrol agents appeared to single out the Haitians for special treatment. This NBC correspondent's tweet was typical of the coverage. Quote, "The agent swung his whip menacingly, charging his horse towards the men in the river who were trying to return to an encampment under the International Bridge in Del Rio after buying food and water." Many countered that narrative. This horse rider noted, quote, "Those aren't whips, they're called split reins. I ride my horses with them." And another tweeted, "The media and Democrats mistaking reins, critical to controlling a horse you're riding, for whips is really the next wild chapter in Elites Don't Understand Rural America." Whether whips or reins, Border Patrol agents were using them as weapons of control, and it set off an unprecedented fury at the administration. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki was forced to respond angrily to a flurry of questions.
I've seen some of the footage. I don't have the full context. I can't imagine what context would make that appropriate, but I don't have additional details. And certainly, I don't have additional context. April, I don't think anyone seeing that footage would think it was acceptable or appropriate. We just saw this footage. It's horrible to watch. I just have to get more information on it. Of course, they should never be able to do it again. I don't know what the circumstances would be. It's obviously horrific, the footage.
On Monday night, the Department of Homeland Security's official Twitter account offered a statement, quote, "DHS does not tolerate the abuse of migrants in our custody, and we take these allegations very seriously." Regardless of who, if anyone, ordered the aggressive tactics, the images send a stark message of a Biden administration's racial double standard in its laissez-faire approach to the border crisis, resulting in a tsunami of human migration from over 60 countries worldwide. It has not sought to single out terrorists, sexual predators, the COVID-19 infected, nor anyone else. It is only the darkest skinned among them, Haitians, who have faced such treatment.
Sanitary products? There aren't any. Food? There isn't any either. They don't give you anything.
We met Nicholas on the Mexican bank of the river, searching for food and medicine for his family. He hadn't realized until we asked him about it that US authorities are also now flying Haitians back home.
There's planes now going deporting people. What do you think about that?
What kills me about that is that everyone knows what we Haitians are going through. There's no president. Crime is high. Students can't go to school. There's no work. The economy is down. People can't put up with that.
Like many others, he said he'd suffered to get this far, on a journey through South America, past gangs and through a patch of jungle called the Darien Gap, notorious for rape and robbery. It was really difficult. I saw a lot of us who died.
The problem for the Biden administration is that this crisis, now spinning utterly out of control, is one of their own making.
The problem at the border is not really that we don't have enough Border Patrol agents, although obviously more resources would help. The problem is more one of policy, where this administration is de facto welcoming, inviting illegal immigration. So until that changes, we really can't even have a debate about legalizing illegal immigrants.
So what you're seeing is part of a much bigger political picture. It's not just about the border. And it's the same strategy as Afghanistan. Ignore, 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 pretend it's not there and not happening. And the biggest thing here, Tucker, is that people keep using words like failure. They say, oh, they failed to act. No, they chose not to act. They chose not to act because they have the outcome that they want.
The outcome they wanted, in effect open borders, has led to this humanitarian catastrophe, which many in the Biden-allied media ignored for months. Now, with images of black people being whipped with horse reins, those Biden media allies are no longer ignoring it. 2 weeks of dismal news for the Biden administration is now extending into another week with another crisis. Doug McKelway for the Washington Examiner.